Oh, guys, don't tell Santa because he done messed up. He don't know I've been making fun of the haters, making them cry, blowing up saws, throwing nitrous on it, blowing them up again. Santa just ain't paying attention, but I'm not going to tell him if you guys don't, because what we got here is 243.2 cc's of big ass steel raw torque. And although the 880 bone stock is kind of a dog, I'll admit it. You know, the displacement's there. There's no replacement for displacement, yes. But they're lacking stock. But this guy right here is hardly stock. Coil, gone. No more limited 10,500. Nope. This guy will hit a mean 13,800, I believe, but I tune them down. You don't need that much out of these. They're actually really good at about 12.5, believe it or not. And then they don't drop in the cut. If you try to get 13,500 out of these things, it's too much. And that's coming from the guy that throws nitrous on shit, so trust me when I say that you don't need it. The 881. So I ran one of these. I immediately bought one. I ran it bone stock. I didn't do no work to it. I did have a bark box on it. That's all I did. And I bought it for a customer. You know, I picked it up for him. He was looking for one. It's the only saw to date that I've ever ran that I flat out told him, you don't need to do nothing to it. And again, you got to realize who you're talking to here. This one is mine, and we are going to do something to it. I'm going to port it and go ballistic with it. I hope to God I don't screw something up, because the last person I talked to that had to get a cylinder for one of these 881s, you had to buy a whole saw. No joke. Like, couldn't get a cylinder for it. So it's a big 462, honestly. The cylinder is about the dead same as a 462, and I do a pretty mean 462 build. I'm gonna try a couple coils. I haven't heard of anybody successfully doing a coil swap, but it don't need it, guys. You don't need those. These big saws like this, 120 plus cc's. I mean, if you're building a race saw, yeah, that's different, but for a torquey work saw, you don't need anything over 12.5, because you throw them in a really big cut, they don't drop. They don't drop in RPMs. I did try this out. So, as you guys probably know, I'm a huge fan of the retained bar nuts, and that cover does fit. So the 881, that cover, you know, this is the more updated style, and the bar nuts are captive. So that's pretty cool, but it does swap right over. This one is, I have a custom muffler I put on that. Camera is always, the flash always goes bad on this thing. It dies on me. Getting a new phone for Christmas, guys. So this has, I don't really want to show this, but that is a prototype under the cover foam air filter, oilable air filter. Doesn't have oil on it now. It's not quite the finished product. The guy's making some adjustments to that, but that is going to be a game changer. You don't need to buy the big Max Flow cover. Nothing against Max Flow. I love Max Flow filters. They work really good. But it'd be cool to have an option that goes under the stock cover. Some other guys are trying it, but they went about it wrong. They made it for the 500 and these other saws. In my opinion, they made the filter too big. The cage and the foam, it's too big. So when you put it on there, it's smashed in the cover. And I've tried them on the 500i. It doesn't work. It's too smashed under that cover. So this was really smart thinking with this one. It's smaller and the foam is smaller, so it fits under these stock covers, and you don't got to do anything. You know, I got some powder coating and stuff. There's real minor stuff. No port work, no cylinder work, but we're going to do that together, because if I can find, I have a couple coils that will fit it. I'm not sure if they'll work. It gets tricky with swapping ignition coils on these. They're dual magnet, but they're not M-tronic. I'm not an electronics wizard, but it gets goofy. Some of them just don't want to run. It's the weirdest thing. Like, maybe one of you guys has the answer to that. It's like it knows the distance. Like it knows through black magic what you're trying to do, and it won't run. So that's powder coated. Some powder coating done to it. That's all I've done to it. It's cosmetics, because I was doing black powder coating and doing some dye work, and even though I hadn't done anything to the cylinder work or nothing like that, I was like, well, might as well get that out of the way. And this bad mamma jamma right there, that one is done, and that is a rowdy saw. Put it this way, on these big saws, usually I'm moving ports like 25 thousandths, 35 thousandths maybe. You know, some saws are more, some are less. I'm moving these ports in these 880s over a quarter of an inch, over 250 thousandths. So that's how far off they are from factory. And not to mention giving it another, if you wanted it, 3,500 RPMs or 3,000 RPMs. Like I said, I don't use all that. I stop it at 12.5. I just tune it to 12.5 and they run really good like that. Still a damn good looking saw though, those 880s. And this is an 084 max flow. They go right on. I might modify his existing cover just to not have this open in here, but I know guys that have ran them like that many times, so they're good to go. This one's running the bark box. I think I have a third muffler port on it. Nope, I got to add that on yet. So I am putting a third muffler port on this one, so it's going to be a triple port. Ooh, this is going to be fun. I'm curious to see if the old school and the new school get along, because we damn near got a YZ250 up on this bench. The 881 looks really nice though. You gotta hand it to it. I like the shape of these recoils. I know we're talking about looks here, and some guys don't give two shits about looks. I do. I'm different. I like these square badges though. I think that's just so cool. It's old school. It's OG, and this, I think, if I wanted to get really ridiculous with the custom work, I would make that badge go on this recoil, and that would be bitchin', I think is the technical term. I'd have to look in the dictionary, but I'm thinking bitchin' is the exact term for that. So, big saw time. No more screwing around. I did notice, if you guys are OCD like me, you already caught it. I have not done anything to that orange elasto start yet. I got to take care of that. That drives me nuts. When I black these saws out, to have that orange elasto start. I took care of it on this one, but it drives me crazy. Let's do it, guys. This is going to be fun. Okay, I know this should probably wait, but I'm not one to brag. Never mind, I'm totally one to brag. But I save really weird parts, and I knew that the way that this bolt pattern is in this coil, I swear to God, guys, I'm like, one day that's going to come in handy, because it's a really weird bolt pattern. You know, because to change the RPM ranges in these saws, that's how you do it. You swap the ignition coil. Now, it's skinny. It's got a skinnier coil. It's really weird. It has this blue tape over where the part number would be. That's super strange. I've never seen that before, but I tried like hell. I can't get it off. Yeah, trying really hard. Really weird. Well, they're starting to peel off, but I'm not going to be bothered. But it's skinny enough. I did have it on here. It does bolt on. So I got to redo this, and if you knew what saw this came off of, you'd laugh your ass off. It's basically the smallest saw, one of the smallest saws that Steel makes. And lo and behold, it is a 13,800, you know, it's still a limited, you could say it's a limited coil, but again, I only want like 1,000 more RPMs out of this thing. But it came out of a saw with a dual magnet flywheel, and it's not M-tronic. So fingers crossed, this could be the discovery that I've been waiting for on the 881. And oh man, my wife's only 5'1", 105 pounds soaking wet, but she scares the shit out of me. Otherwise, I would throw this in here and I would fire this damn thing up. But Christmas Eve, she probably wants to kill me because I'm not in the house right now anyway. So firing up a saw would be a bad deal. We just got done opening presents, and I've been geeked out to tear this cover off to see, because I figured, I'm like, I think this coil is gonna fit it, and I get something in my head, I can't give it up. You know, like I say all the time, these saws aren't important. This is not important, but it is something that my brain is constantly buzzing around. But I ain't gonna fight another person over a saw. I'm not gonna, choose a saw over a person. But when I do got an idea in my head, you bet your ass I'm gonna come out and sneak out to the shop, act like I got something to do, and see if this damn coil bolts on, and it does. So now it's gonna bug me all night. That is it gonna work? Is it not? I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned. Tomorrow, you guys will find out. I've played this game before though. For some reason, it don't always work. You would think that it would just be that easy, but they'll bolt up. They'll even fire up and run, but they won't rev up. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, like I said, it's like it knows the spacing or something. Doesn't make sense to me. I know that, because this being off of a really small saw, I'll give that away. Obviously, the circumference or whatever the hell you call it, it's way bigger. Real technical around here, but it's way bigger. So the flywheel that is on the saw that this came off of is like the size of the inner part. So there's that. A guy might need to do a little bit of filing, and I'll try it though. Kind of beat it up a little bit to get it in there, but I just want to know that it works. And again, this is my personal saw, so it can get a little bit sketchy. And man, if I figure this out though, it's gonna be crazy.